I'd like to call this meeting of the Cartersville City Council to order. Welcome to everybody. Everybody awake? Yes, we are. Good. Very good. It is a great day as we celebrate Civic Youth Day. I believe year 58 that the city of Cartersville has done this. And we will start, as we usually do, with an invocation. We usually do our pledge, but we're doing things a little bit special this morning. We'll start with an invocation by Seth Plimpton from Excel Christian Academy. And that'll be followed by the national anthem performed by Morgan and Maya Jones from Cartersville High School. So if you'll please stand with me.
Okay. Dear God, I would like to thank you for this day and all the blessings you have given us. I would like to thank you for the Board of Education and all the staff and everybody here today. And I would like to thank you for the opportunity for us to be here today. Amen.
Great job, ladies. Thank you, Seth, for the invocation. And council, that's a lot better than our typical pledge. So we'll, moving forward, we'll just have y'all sing that next time. How about that? We have our first order of business today. Actually, we approve the minutes first. We'll approve the minutes of our March 20th meeting. And council, you've had these minutes well in advance of today's meeting. We've had an opportunity to review them. The chair will entertain any edits, corrections, or any discussion, and if there is none, then a motion would be in order.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And the minutes are approved. Now we get to have a little bit of fun. We'll swear in our Civic Youth Day participants, and we'll do this in two waves. Those of you that are serving on the city councils will come forward, and Catherine, actually, you know what? I've done something wrong. Catherine, I apologize. I'm throwing you curveballs. You need to take the role, and I didn't ask you to do that. If you would do that, please.
Okay. Carrie Hodge, Ward 1.
Here.
Jay Steph, Ward 2.
Here.
Lewis Consmeyer, Ward 3.
Here.
Lindsay McDaniel, Ward 4.
Here.
Diane Tate, Ward 5.
Here.
Lori Pruitt, Ward 6. Here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you for not calling me out for making a mistake in front of this room full of people. It's probably not the first or the last one of this meeting. All right, so now we're going to call forward the following people who are representing mayor and council as part of Civic Youth Day. From Cartersville High School, I have Chelsea Stevenson, who's serving as mayor. I've got Talicia Kimbrough. City Council, Colin Shea, Kelly Robbins, and Elizabeth Blackhall. If you'll come forward. And then from Excel Christian, if I can get Becca Bell, Seth Plimpton, and Diana Davidson. If y'all you can step forward up here, and Catherine will handle your swearing in.
Okay, raise your right hand, and you're just going to repeat after me. I solemnly swear.
I solemnly swear
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
The state of Georgia.
the state of Georgia,
That I will in all respects.
that I will in all respects
Observe the provisions of the Charter.
observe the provisions of the Charter
And ordinances of the city of Cartersville.
and ordinances of the city of Cartersville,
That I
discharge all duties
of the office,
of the office,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, and y'all can be seated, and I'll now call forward the school board members. These are just the elected official folks. Hadley Hopkins from Cartersville High School representing the school board, along with Caleb Smith, Lauren Phillips, Ashley Harris, and Matthew Green. And from Excel Christian Academy, Hannah Cawthon and Celia Tidwell.
Okay, raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Caleb Smith,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will discharge the duties
that I will discharge the duties
devolving upon me
devolving upon me
as a member of the Cartersville School Board
as a member of the Cartersville School Board
to the best of my skill and ability,
to the best of my skill and ability,
You ask her to tell me.
in
I haven't
accordance
seen it.
with what shall to me appear
You and I gotta
with
share
what
this
shall to
microphone,
me
by the way.
appear
for the best interest of the community
for the best interests of the community
and the cause of education,
You
and
want
the
lunch
cause of
today?
education,
and
You want
without
lunch today?
fear, favor, affection, or reward,
without fear, favor, affection, reward,
or hope thereof, so help me God.
or hope thereof, so help me God.
I'm gonna get ready to do that. Thank you, Catherine, and congratulations all. I am gonna take just a moment here to make sure that everybody's matched up with their proper person. I'm just gonna go in order as I've got them on my sheet here. Superintendent of Schools, you will go with, okay, Adam Harper is gonna be with Ken Klaus. Principal of the high school, Pierce Dempsey. You are matched up with?
I'll be the assistant principal for Delaware today.
Wonderful, thank you. Ezra Hall, you're with our city attorney Keith Lovell. My apologies for that. Kaylin Poe, you're with Catherine Hembry, who's acting as she's our city clerk right now. Carter Bishop, you're with Chief Culpepper, who is in the back of the room right there. Director of Parks and Recreation, Stephen Hopkins, you're with Greg Anderson. You know who Greg, I mean, I'm trying to make sure everybody's got a connection there. Okay. Allie Fitzpatrick, where are you? You are with Randy Menino, who is our Director of Planning and Development, and he's in the back of the room right there. You'll see him, you'll see a bunch of him in just a moment. And then David Tillman, you are with Dan Porta, our Assistant City Manager, who's right here. Dan, he's right there. Okay? And then our folks from Tessa Thornbrew, you're with Wesley Roach. Mr. Roach, where's Tessa? There's Tessa. I'm sure you all know each other. You've probably been in his office several times. Gavin Farlick, you're with Sam Grove, our city manager. Finance Director Joshua Rouse, you're with Tom Reinhardt. Tom's right there in the back of the room, in the back corner right there. Fire Chief, we have Jesse Shirley. You're with Chief Carter, who's in the very back corner right there. If you get confused, he's the one with the fireman's uniform on. Gas Superintendent Sarah Bradley, you're with Gary Riggs. Gary's standing right there. And Electric Director Caitlin Clary, you're with Don Hassebrock, and Don is right back there in the yellow. Okay? So everybody know where they're supposed to be or where they're going to be? City council members and mayors will stay in this room and have a lively discussion, I'm sure. And at some point, and it might be right now that everybody knows who they're matched up with, do the school board folks get up and go now? Is that what happens, or do they stay here? Yes, they do. And Linda, actually, come on, step forward here for just a second before we do it. Is her birthday? Since I would say we're going to put a little bit of cheese on this city council meeting since we've got a different day, but I know that you have a birthday today, and Diane had one a couple days ago.
We already celebrated those.
Let's sing happy birthday. David, well, there we go. Let's just do a big happy birthday. How about that?
Needs to stand up and be part of the group.
And Adam, since you're chatty, why don't you stand up and lead us?
Happy birthday.
I would like you just to say a few words about the school system and then just kind of lead everybody out the door with school stuff.
Well, I'm just glad to get to be here today. And the superintendent would normally be here, but he is introducing the newly to be appointed Cartersville High School football coach to the other coaches and the players and so forth. So just wanted you to know what else is going on. We'll have a call school board meeting tonight at 5, or today at 5, to announce his name. So, although it's already out there, everybody already knows anyway in a small town.
When you put it on a press release, it's kind of obvious. Yeah.
But thank you for having this today. It is so rewarding. Let me tell you, for 2 years, we've had some young ladies on our school board for Civic Youth Day, and they enjoyed it so much, they want to come back and serve on the school board someday. So they said, we thought this would be boring and we wouldn't have a good time, but they had a wonderful time. So they're coming back to Cartersville someday to serve on the school board, and I'm sure the city council members feel the very same way.
Great.
And thank you for all your support, for all you do. We love working together.
Thank you,
ma'am.
Linda. Pleasure to work with you. All right, at this time, I'll dismiss all the folks that have anything to do with the school systems, and you can go about your way. And then we'll get to the efficient use of our time in getting through the city's agenda today.
Matt, is there a follow-up meeting at lunch today?
Oh, I'm sorry, what is the lunch plan today? Thank you, Don. Noon at the Cartersville Civic Center, not the Conference Center, at the Cartersville Civic Center.
The old one.
Thank you. Not the Clarence Brown Conference Center, the Cartersville Civic Center. Thank you, Don. All right, let's go ahead and get the agenda going here. And thanks, everybody, for indulging a little bit there. Mr. Menino, if you'll get us started with some appointments to the Historic Preservation Commission.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. The terms of 4 of our members have expired, one of which wishes, or if reappointed, would like to stay on that. That'd be Mr. Greg Frisbee. And the 3 names for nomination are Vandy White, Ron Goss, and Lynn Pritchett are presented to you for your approval.
Okay, any questions or discussion on this item? And if there is none, a motion would be in order.
Motion to approve. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And motion carries unanimously. Randy, you're a busy guy today. If you'll get us going with ZMA 14-01.
Yes, again, thank you, Mayor and Council. This is a second reading. There have been no changes since the first reading. What this is the annual adoption of the official zoning map of the city. Every year we re-adopt it to include the previous year's annexations and zonings. Again, it is a second reading. And with that, Planning Commission does recommend approval of the zoning map amendment.
All right, any questions for Randy at this point? Thank you, sir. And at this point, I'll open up a public hearing relative to case ZMA 14-01. Anybody wishing to step forward and speak for or against may do so at this time. And seeing none step forward, I will close the public hearing relative to ZMA 14-01. Council, this is the second reading of this. It's ready for any kind of motions that you'd like to entertain.
Motion to approve.
Had a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Continue on, Randy.
Yes, the next case is Z1401. This is a zoning request to rezone 7 South Bartow Street from its current R7 residential zoning category to the PS professional services category for a mortgage office. With that, again, this is a second reading. There have been no additions or changes since the first reading, and the Planning Commission did recommend approval of this application.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Menino on this item to this point? Thank you, sir. And I'll open up a public hearing relative to file Z14-01. Anybody wishing to step forward, speak for or against, may do so at this time. And seeing none, I'll close the public hearing, and council now it's ready.
Question,
Okay, go right ahead.
does our fire chief leave?
I bet he wish he did.
Back there.
Come on up, Chief Carter. Ms. Tate has a question, please.
Chief, when we do this kind of rezoning and the people come forward to the planning department and they show what they're going to do in the restoration, When do you come in to check about the fire codes in an old home like this that's being rezoned from residential to commercial? When do you come in?
As soon as the process has begun, we're notified of that. We work with Randy Bonneau's staff, and then there's no specific timetable. It's just done prior to it. We're brought in early on all these zoning requests, and then we work with planning and development to schedule and do the inspections necessary. And we try to do so before we make our comments, so that our comments would reflect what we would have.
You're involved in the permit review, though?
Yes,
In
definitely.
the whole, okay.
The
Yes.
permit level?
You're at the table and everyone's doing the check off.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, actually, on any rezone you have too, there are all the departments are consulted on that. I think there's probably something in the agenda that has basically a sign off from.
Yeah, and there's a really good process to make sure that everything is vetted, so.
Well, you had comments in here that would have to be updated,
Mhm.
and I just wondered what,
That will occur during the building permit phase.
okay.
So they have preliminary knowledge of what's going on in the zoning process, and provided feedback, and then they will be involved in the building permit process.
When it goes from an older home like this to commercial, then do they have to have a sprinkling system, or is that?
It depends upon the requirements. When you look at the occupancy, what's going on with it, square footage and et cetera, but there's very specific criteria.
Are
that they
you
would have to
asking
follow.
him if this one needs to be sprinkled?
It
No.
did not, it was under
No.
5,000
No.
square feet.
I got the
and
answer
for an
now, I
office
guess.
use, it wasn't
I just
required.
wondered about the evaluation process. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
You good?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see, we already did the public hearing part. Any other questions for staff or any discussion that needs to be had? And if there are none, a motion would be in order.
Motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Menino, once again, please. Actually, twice again, please.
Thank you again. This request is to ask council to authorize the mayor to sign an application. This is a Georgia DCA Plan First Program application. The Department of Community Affairs did approach us to take part in this program based on past planning efforts from the city of Cartersville. With that, if chosen as a Plan First community, it does allow us to get extra points in the grant application process. Also allows us in the CDBG funding to be eligible annually instead of every other year. And with that, we're requesting authorization so the mayor can sign this application and we can forward it on to the Department of Community Affairs.
Thank you, sir. Any questions, comments, or motions?
Mayor, just a question. So this is an honor for them to ask us to participate?
It is.
Not everyone is asked. In other words,
That is correct.
If we didn't have a good plan in place for our city,
That is correct. They've reviewed some of our past efforts, and when they were putting this program together, that's when they decided to call us and wanted us to partake in this particular process and program that they put together.
Any other discussion? If not, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Randy, one more for you, please, sir.
Last and final agenda item that I have, as you're aware, back in 2010, we adopted the Urban Redevelopment Plan. As part of that Urban Redevelopment Plan, we do quarterly updates. Since our last quarterly update, there have been no real changes. The only addition to discuss is we did receive a $200,000 grant to do some home renovations in the Northtown area. It's taken a couple years to get the program going. What it is owner-occupied structures were eligible for improvements. They had to go through a process application, systematic evaluation that had to meet certain criteria from the Department of Community Affairs. With that, we believe there should be 7 houses undergoing improvements between summer and fall of this year. Other than that, since the last update, that was about the only big addition.
Okay. Any discussion on the Urban Redevelopment Plan quarterly update?
No action necessary.
Thank you. We're getting ready to vote on something we didn't need to. Thanks, Randy. Mr. Lovell, you have the next item, please, sir.
Yes, Mayor, this is a maintenance agreement with Light Delaware LLC, the company that is building the new Academy Sports that's coming into town. I believe has their grand opening on April 11th. This is a easement agreement for them to have water and sewer service, and they're paying $18,000 to the city for that service to be installed and hooked up, and to make sure that it is in compliance for a year before we accept it. It is recommended by staff for your approval.
Thank you, Keith. Any questions or discussion on this item? And hearing none, Chair will call for a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Sanders, you got the next two, please.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. You had previously approved an expense of moving a truck body onto a new truck from an old truck. This is on a commercial front loader. It's the big rectangular part that actually holds the garbage. And when the McNeilus, the manufacturer of the body, started moving it, they found a lot of areas for improvement. And this change order is for $16,646.56, which is different than what is on your documents. This will be the final amount, and I would like to request your approval of this expense, additional expense.
And those are out of budgeted fund, your budgeted funds?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions or discussion?
I should have asked you earlier, total, where does this put us on this truck?
On the truck, we paid $112,500 plus $8,500 plus the $16,646. So.
Okay.
112 and 16 is 128, plus 136.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is still significantly less than a new truck.
Right. A new truck and a new body would have been around $230,000. So.
Okay.
Thank you.
And this work basically makes this body like new. We
get another 20 years out of it then.
Hopefully.
All right. Any questions or discussion? And if you would make sure that the motion includes that additional dollar amount to this change order, please.
Make a motion to approve the amount $16,646. Is that correct?
And 56 cents.
And 56 cents. Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next item, please, Tommy.
Thank you. This next item, we need to purchase residential garbage carts. We put these out for bid. We had received two bids, $21,100. That's for 400 carts from Consolidated Disposal, which that's a Schaefer cart. And then the second bid was $21,600 from Otto. And we recommend the low bid.
Okay. Any discussion on this item? If not, a motion's in order.
Make a motion to approve the purchase from the low bid.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Tommy. Mr. Porter, you have the next several here.
Yes, Mayor. The first item is a support renewal for a bandwidth shaper. This allows us to control the internet access to our customers. At renewal, cost is $5,875.72, and it's a budget item. I recommend it for approval.
Any questions? Any motions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. I asked in the work session if council would mind if I lumped items 3, 4, and 5 on the agenda together, since they're all kind of intertwined and related. And I'm going to ask Dan to go through those three, and if a motion would call for the approval of all three of those, that'd be fine. Or if you want to do them individually, I'll do that too. Go ahead, Mr. Porter.
Okay. The first item is the data conversion software for GIS. Anytime we get data, and sometimes that comes from a developer or another outside party, this software allows that to work with our existing GIS format. $9,500 for that item. Next item, Esri developer subscription software. This allows us to control and have more security access on our GIS software. This is a $2,400 cost. And the last item is a new plotter that allows us to print all the maps and stuff off the system. We have a 10-year-old GIS plotter now, and this will replace that at a cost of $9,439.49. The total of all three of these items is $21,339.49 out of 03 SPLOST funds, and I recommend approval of this. There are funds available separate from those that we discussed previously for the road resurfacing, and as well as 03 of the Dothett Ferry Road project as well.
Okay.
Give us the total again, 21,000?
$21,339.49.
49?
Yes, ma'am.
Quick today. Had some coffee that day.
I don't drink coffee, but no.
All right, any other discussion on any one of these three items? And if there's none, a motion would be in order.
Motion to approve these three items together.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next one, please, Dan.
Yes, and the last item is the property and casualty insurance. Last year, when we started the renewal process for a fiscal year, I had to give them updated information for our physical assets, our new police vehicles and other vehicles we added during the prior fiscal year, as well as the update on the buildings, the new public safety headquarters and fire station went into effect. Brought an additional premium of $5,557 to the overall cost for the current fiscal year, and I recommend approval of that invoice.
Okay. Questions, comments, or motions?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Anderson, the final item, please.
Yes, sir, Mayor and Council. This is a repair that's already taken place. I'm requesting approval to pay for it, but our Senior Aquatic Center pool pack stopped working a couple of weeks ago, and they had Honeywell come out and check the compressor, which was compressor number 1. They gave us a repair price of $8,820 and with a 5-year warranty of $724 for a total price of $9,544, which will come out of our building maintenance account, and I recommend paying this bill.
If you don't approve, it comes out of your salary, is that what happens?
Well, I'd have to work a lot longer, but I guess it would.
He's asking for forgiveness, right?
Well, that versus, I guess.
I'd already received permission, so I guess it come out of Mr. Portis. Well, you wasn't here that day.
I don't either.
I know.
Chair will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Oh, hold on a second. We do have a motion. I'll accept the motion. Lindsay, go ahead and ask your question, please, sir.
I'm doing that first?
Go ahead and ask your question. You're fine.
Okay. The one that played out, the compressor that played out, did it have, what type of warranty did it have on it?
It had a 5-year warranty on it.
It also had
Yes, sir.
time? Okay. That answers my question.
Okay. Any other discussion? I do have a motion in place. Anybody care to second?
Second.
Thank you, sir. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Greg. Any other business that needs to come before council this morning? Anybody? All right, where are our hosts this morning? What are the plans for lunch are noon at the Cartersville Civic Center up by the library, okay? If you go to the conference center, there might be something real neat going on up there, but our lunch isn't. I guess we'll dismiss in just a moment to everybody. Everybody's matched up with who they're supposed to be with. I do know that on this sheet at the time that I got it, there was nobody that had been assigned to the water director position or the public works director position. Is that the case?
That's right.
All right. All right. Bob and Tommy, I'd play the lottery tonight if I were you. And Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We're adjourned. Didn't get a harumph out of that guy. We are done.